Good morning, or Galimera, how you doing? Well, I just thought I'd start off again today just to show you how beautiful the weather is. Although I've got to be honest, local press are reporting that we are in line for 2 days of bad storms with high winds, and they're going to supposedly start this afternoon over here and then work their way out to the Aegean. At the moment, looking at the clouds, especially over the top of the mountains that's beside us, they are a little bit grim looking. I'm not sure if you're picking that detail up on this video feed at the moment. But again, yeah, we're in line for bad weather. So we'll see if that prediction pans out correctly and see what happens. But at the moment, it's absolutely glorious. And to be honest, the weather over the weekend has actually been really, really nice. Anyway, so let's have a quick look at the news then for today. There's been loads, well, quite a bit going on over the last few days, and people already starting to turn up in the chat room. Nice to see you there, Amanda, also Christopher Lloyd and Adele Woodhouse. Let's get on with what's going on. Right then, just quickly switch the screen round. Hopefully that's going to work quickly. It's slowly coming round. Come on then. Come on, Humway. Faster. Faster. At least the controls can be seen. Right then. First of all, just a quick heads up. The news this morning is a bit COVID heavy. There's been a bit going on with the COVID. But before we talk about the COVID, I've got to talk about yesterday. Got some really fantastic news. My second show that was broadcast from 34 last Friday has been going up in the charts, which again just does amaze me. Yesterday I'd risen from 61 up to number 19 in the reggae chart, which is the level I think I've ever been in the Mixcloud charts. And I've also appeared in the pop chart yesterday at number 62, and also in the soul chart as well at number 70. So once again, I don't know how these charts are collated. I don't know how they do it, but there's hundreds of DJs on that platform. The reason they're on that platform is because there is no censorship and no copyright strikes on there. And some very big name DJs are on those forums as well. And I'm amazed that I'm actually getting noticed and charting as well. So thank you to Mixcloud and whoever it is that is collating and charting me. It amazes me. Right, COVID then. Yesterday we had 280 new COVID cases. However, our death number is going up. We had 13 deaths yesterday in Greece, and that is, according to the Greek press, a record number of deaths. So that is of a concern at the moment. 41 of the known cases, of the 280 new cases, were from known sources, i.e. somebody, family relation or work colleague. 25 were from ports. The number of people in ICUs dropped slightly from 97 down to 93. But the death rate is of a concern. At the moment, I've noticed, and probably a lot of people are noticing, that there's not enough detail coming out about deaths at the moment as to the locations and where they are. Most areas, when you're looking at figures, they give an overall total for a country. They don't exactly say exactly whereabouts in the country. But at the moment, there's been no word of the locations of the 13 people that passed away yesterday. At the moment, that brings our total number of infections that we've had since the pandemic started to 22,358, of which 3,271 were related to coming in from abroad, i.e. through the way of tourism, entry into ports. And our death toll at the moment is, I think, 469. I'm just looking down. I don't think I actually wrote the total amount of deaths down actually on my list this morning. Anyway, Greek officials now are worrying that this is going to be a second wave on the way because of the deaths and also our infection rates. Although I've got to be honest, our infection rates did shoot up to over 400 a day, and they have dropped down to 280 a day. But Greek health experts and officials are talking about a second wave. They've also enforcing new measures as well up is the Athens area. Also as well, the new map comes online as its new version. And to be honest, we are still in extreme special. We're in the third stage here in Zakynthos in the orange. We're not in the red, which is the fourth stage. But Attica at the moment, and that area is going to go into extra special measures in regards to the amount of people allowed into restaurants, etc., etc. So it is kind of looking just a little bit uncertain at the moment. Also, as well, I noticed that John Bolton, he was the former national security advisor to Donald Trump. He's been talking to the Greek press today. He's got a book out, that's probably the reason why, called The Room Where It Happened, a White House memoir. This is causing quite a stir at the moment. In fact, it talks about the chaotic manner in which decisions are made within the American White House. You've got to remember that John Bolton was fired by Donald Trump. They kind of fell out. The interesting thing is that he's talking about in his book about the close relationship that Trump has with the president of Turkey. The interesting thing is that he believes that Trump admires him greatly and is in awe of him. And that's the reason why he's been letting Erdogan do some of the things that he's been doing, especially in regards to Syria. However, he also believes that Mike Pompeo, who's been shuttling backwards and forwards here to Greece, Mike Pompeo is actually reflecting 95% of what the national security that he used to work for, Bolton, and foreign policy is basically 95% being covered by those people that are running those departments. The other 5% is what Trump, in his head, believes should be going on. So he says at the moment, with that, with his views then looking at the situation between Greece and Turkey at the moment, he's actually advising the Greek Prime Minister to go into a form of hibernation, all right, in regards things with Trump, and basically wait it out until after the election that's going to take place in America in November. So to go into hibernation, wait out the election. Looking at Bolton's comments, he reckons Joe Biden is going to win the election, which is not too good for the Americans. However, but for Greece, it could be better in the fact that Joe Biden's attitude towards the Eastern Mediterranean is a better attitude than what Trump's attitude is at the moment. So again, I think that's quite an interesting little look at there, what's going on with the overall picture. Got to remember that more investment now seems to be coming in from America at the moment. Mike Pompeo obviously has great influence over the American president. Don't be too surprised if after the election the Trump Tower goes up in Athens. That wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. Before Trump probably goes to jail. But anyway, it's interesting to see that American politics is also playing a little bit of a part here in what's happening in Greece. Also, as well, another interesting little comment from the Greek cultural minister as well in regards plays and movies, in the fact that we need to keep plays and movies going because they have a great psychological effect on people. And also they stop people, in her words, having to visit the psychiatrist. So they're a great thing for mental health. Once again, I did hit upon the fact that we do have a cinema here on the island. People are allowed to go to the pictures still here, unlike in the UK, even though there's only 30% of the cinema can be filled with people. It is obviously a great thing that we have here on the island, and it's a lovely thing to have. And also with our tourists also coming over as of Tuesday, people again, that's another night out for you. Go to the Zakynthos town. And I think the open air cinema, although looking at the weather, we will wait and see how that works out as well. Just a quick one on yesterday on the missing puppy. Still no sign of the missing puppy. Jane and I were down in the area where the puppy was supposed to be on the feeding rota yesterday. Still no sign of her. So again, a bit of a concern. Hopefully maybe somebody has took the puppy in. News on the dog that went missing yesterday morning called Cleo. She's actually okay. She's with somebody. Somebody has took her. He's keeping her at their place. So she's okay. That caused a little bit of a flap here yesterday morning, but everything is sorted there now. And also for those people who know of Mags the dog, it's all dogs as well today. Mags is a lovely dog who's been astray on the streets for God knows how many years. She's a little bit of an institution. We saw her yesterday and she's safe. She's just enjoying the sun. She's getting spoiled by people. She got spoiled by us yesterday with chews and snacks. Looks like the restaurant where she kind of interlopes with are still looking after her as well. So we hadn't seen her about in a while and we're getting a bit concerned. And yesterday evening we saw her on our way back to home. So yeah, fantastic. Right, let's have a quick look at some of the messages and people that are tuning in at the moment. Big shout out to Amanda Gregory. I've already said hello to you. You're just up the road from us. You've obviously got power this morning. Adele Woodhouse, she's also watching as well. Nice to have you with us as well. Christopher Lloyd James is watching. Nice to see you as well. Louise Green is watching too. Nice to have you here as well. Janie McKay Gunn, she's also tuning in. Nice to have you as well. Thank you. Also, Andrew Fridge Watkins is watching as well. Nice to have you in as well, sir, all the way from... What's the weather like in Wales today? Is it sunny in Wales today? It's sunny here, although we're waiting for rain and wind. Lisa Mead is watching as well. Tommy Winston Burns is looking as well. Nice to see you. Hilary Rogers as well. Graham Binton, Australia, is looking in. Nice to have you as well. Also, Dave Cramp is saying Galamera. Nice to see you as well, Dave. He's also written something else. Galamera, smiley face. Thank you very much. Julie Osborne is also watching as well. Amanda Gregory. Morning, Ginge. Dave Bowen, morning. He's watching. Steve Hodgson is watching as well. Dennis Patrick Carroll is watching too. He says good morning from the lovely area of Cyprus. Rebecca Blazer. Oh, Aylesbury. How you doing? Nice to have you tuning in. Her husband, I used to work with her husband. We used to DJ all around Aylesbury and all over at the Chiltern Club and also all over other locations for the military. Nice to have him looking in. He's having a bit of a hard time at the moment because obviously with the restrictions on live entertainment and everything else in the UK, as with a lot of other performers and singers and everybody else, real tough times. It doesn't help when the Chancellor is saying you need to retrain and do a proper job. I think that kind of really sucks at some people. But I know Dan does a lot with special needs parties for special needs kids and stuff like that and their families, which I think is fantastic. And obviously all of those kind of events have all been stopped because of what's going on with the virus at the moment. Jane Butterworth, nice to have you. David Lowry, nice to have you. Also, big shout out from Steve Hodgson. Hi, Ginge, keep up the good work from Lugs. Just back from Cyprus to concert, County Durham. Bloody freezing. He's what's it's off. Nice. I thought you actually lived out there, Steve. I really did. I didn't realise you were just there on holiday, mate. Anyway, I'm glad you're tuning in. Also, just a quick reminder, don't forget I'm making my third show tomorrow. Any requests, any dedications, any messages, just pop them in the comments below me and I will obviously stick them into the show that's going to be recorded here at Studio One in Macardo and then rebroadcast out on betterinternet.com. down in Zanti In fact, I was talking about that yesterday to people about how it is really kind of frustrating that the internet where we are up in the hills is not as good as what it is in the town. In the town, they're fibre optic, where we're still on light cable. And just hoping at some point, Cosmote, they're like the BT of Greece, they're going to start sticking fibre optic cables in. You know what? They've got better internet in some of the more remote areas like Vasilikos than they have. We're only about 7 k's outside of the main town, but it means it has to go uphill, so that might be a difficulty, whereas Vasilikos is more downhill. Maybe the signal runs better downhill, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, so it's a bit of a long-winded way of making shows, but I'm babbling on now. Al Parks up there in Catterick, nice to have you there as well. He says, morning Gunner, morning Mr. Parks. Andrew Fridge Watkins, it's dark and wet in Wales. Thank you for that, Andrew. Oh, but it's nice and sunny here, and obviously certain businesses are getting ready to basically get reopened again. I'm going to probably do a little patrol at some point round just to see how things are in regards of getting ready. I know Planet are supposedly getting themselves organised to get back online because they've got guests arriving as well this week. And obviously that was Colin in Greek. Yeah, I was saying that about yesterday. I'd never seen my name written in Greek before. What's Ginge in Greek? There's a test for you, Dave. Jack Harmer is watching as well, and Sharon Brownlow. Once again, cheers for those people tuning in. Sorry the news hasn't been exactly fantastic today with what's going on, but we just have had a weekend, so it takes a while for things to come through. But anyway, I'll be back again tomorrow. Once again, any requests, any dedications, pop them in the bottom below. And let's see if show 3 can chart as well as what show 2 has. I'm really chuffed about that. Anyway, that's it from me. For those people here in Zakynthos, get ready to batten down the hatches. Maybe a bit of bad weather is on the way. And I will see you again tomorrow. You take care and have a great day.